the bell. The music bringing in these two outstanding young men, the Rock and Roll Express. My partner, Johnny Weaver. And Johnny, they bring the house down, don't they?
They certainly have this auditorium excited, and their style of wrestling excites everyone. And Ricky Martin with that cast on, Bobby. You know, he put that cast on. He never missed a step, never slowed down, and he's still in his quest to get that World Tag Team belts back.
And here he comes into the ring with that cast around that right hand. That hand that was broken in the match with the Midnight Express.
Oh, and he cocked that right hand with the cast on it. Gene Liggett quickly backpedaled away.
You know, he would have sent him out the next week with that cast. That's what I think the Midnight Express has got to worry about, Johnny.
They certainly do. They thought they hurt him real bad, but Ricky never missed a step, Bob. A lot of guts, a lot of intestinal fortitude for this young man. That's what makes him a world champion. And he'll get that belt back.
This is Gene Liggett in the ring. There's a double drop kick closing. And what is in the back? The Rock fans, what Baby Doll's got in their hands. Tully Blanchard's 4 weeks are up. Dusty Rhodes is still the national heavyweight champion, Dusty.
You know what, Bob Collins, throughout this country, Tully Blanchard has went and said, J.J. Dillon, say we either going to have egg on our face or we going to have the national title. Dusty Rhodes still got the national title, still got his risk of business glasses on, and still doing hard time every night, every day throughout this country. Baby Doll has no equal as a woman, has no equal as a lady. And Ric Flair, I have no equal as the greatest single sports attraction in this country today. And Arn Anderson, standing in the ring, knows that the World TV title belongs to me. And just recently, Bob Cottle, I got a letter from a 24-year-old beautiful lady, Ric Flair. And she says, Dream, I'd love to be where Baby Doll is right now. And Baby Doll told me, say, Dream, she's out there tonight watching you, darling. She says, I want you to go out there and do it for Janis Joplin. I want you to go do it for Gorgeous George. I want you to do it for James Dean. I want you to do it for Elvis Presley. But most of all, do it for the doll. She handed me the belt. She said, kid, go out there and break a heart. Whoa!
The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, the national heavyweight champion. Well, the world television champion is in the ring. Here he is, Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson watching Dusty Rhodes as he leaves the arena. Baby Doll holding that belt up high. Arn started to come out of the ring. The bell has sounded. Here is the world television champion, Arn Anderson, defending that championship against his opponent, Tony Zane. And Johnny Weaver, it looks to me like J.J. Dillon and Mr. Tully Blanchard are going to have egg on their face because the time is up and Dusty Rhodes is still the national heavyweight champion. The man in the ring, Arn Anderson, along with his cousin, Ric Flair, and their partner, Tully Blanchard. They have all really been trying to work over the American Dream. They didn't quite get the job done, though, when they took it to Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, and there's only the three horsemen now. Dusty's taking care of one, and every time an Arn goes in the ring to defend that title, people are hollering, Dusty, Dusty, Dusty. And it certainly upsets him. Here we go! The fans are doing it now! Look at Arn! Look at
That's
Arn!
their chant of Dusty, Dusty. The man has really been a fighting champion, though, Johnny. He has defended that championship every single week.
He certainly has, but come on, he talked big before that. Let's defend it against the Magnums or the Dusty Rhodes or the Raging Bulls of the Jimmy Valiants.
Boy, Arn Anderson, one of the familiar moves of the Andersons when you get an opponent and you get him hurt in one spot, stick with it. He's had that arm of Tony Zane's, and he's hanging right on to it. Johnny, one other thing that I tell you that I was really glad to know, and that is you heard Jim Crockett Jr. say that they had offered the most lucrative contract ever on television for Nikita Koloff to meet Magnum T. We're talking about big bucks here. Yes,
big
sir.
bucks if it's the most lucrative. TV champion Arn Anderson.
You saw him glance over his shoulder. I think he was sort of wondering if it was the Dream, Dusty Rhodes, that the crowd had let the yell out for as they continue to chant of Dusty.
Oh, what excitement we've had so far in this hour, Bob.
I tell you, in our next match, we're going to see for the first time in the ring, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. Arn made a mistake when he came off of the ropes. Zane was ready for him. Here's the champion, slammed to the mat.
Oh! Arn Anderson, one step ahead of Zane, and he's signaling. Is he going to drop him? Yes, face first. Oh, down to the canvas. That could be a victory for Arn Anderson, the World TV champion.
Right in the air, face down onto the mat as he covers him. On one hand, that you have the opportunity to stand between two world champions. The world television champion, Arn Anderson, the world heavyweight champion, Nature Boy Ric Flair. You heard the crowd, Arn. They're saying, Dusty, Dusty. You fellas didn't quite get the job done on Dusty.
Everywhere I go, Bob Cutler, all I hear is you're next. And Dusty, Dusty, Dusty. Well, Dusty, remember one thing. You and the Road Warriors might have done a dastardly deed to Ole Anderson. You may have gave us a temporary setback, but just remember, 3 of the 4 horsemen are still intact, still in full stride, and every time you go to arena and we're in the building, just remember, Dusty, your leg is on the line every night somewhere.
You know, Bob, just a short note. We're going to footnote this right now. Jim Crockett Sr. Memorial Cup. We've already put our entry in. You're talking about 2 world champions on the same team. And yes, we're going to be in New Orleans. And yes, we're going to be driving the women wild. And yes, after we win the cup and the $1 million, Ric Flair and AA are going to throw the party they ever saw in all of New Orleans. Now, let's talk about Dusty Rhodes. He stands out here with Baby Doll, styling and profiling, if you may. But did you ever introduce him ever as a world champion? You're talking about the world TV champion. You're talking about the world heavyweight champion. You're talking about the 2 best there is. Then you got Bobby Eaton and Dennis Condrey and Jimmy Cornette, world champions. Then you got the great Tully Blanchard, soon to be, mark my words, the national heavyweight champion. Woo!
Nature Boy Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, world heavyweight champion, and what can you say about that? Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin and what an entrance. I tell you, that tops just about anything I've ever seen. Coming into the ring and into the arena, George South, the opponent across the ring, he just looks dumbfounded, and I don't blame him.
Well, we've been waiting a long time to see Gorgeous Jimmy right here in action. We saw him before, but this is the first time in action. Believe me, he's got quite a reputation, and he's a superstar in wrestling today.
Well, he got George South while South was looking the other way as he came quickly to the midsection with the feet, draws back the hands. Johnny, he's got gloves around those hands, probably to protect those knuckles the way he's throwing those rights and lefts.
He's a very intelligent individual, as well as being a great superstar. He took advantage of South, and he set the upper hand. There's a shot of Precious, Bob, in the corner of Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin.
He's got South. He's got him covered with a right hook, and he made quick work of George South.
Now, what in the match? Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, and with it, him is Precious.
You guys just didn't do it.
No, I'm telling you, we did it. That's right. We put that cast on Ricky Morton's hand. The unbeatable Midnight Express, the World Tag Team Champions. Everybody wants us. The Road Warriors and Paul Eller are talking about getting a title shot. Well, hey, Road Warriors, I'll tell you what, you're an okay team. Maybe we can work you in sometime before December. Call my mother. America's team, Dusty Rhodes, Magnum TA. If you want some, call my secretary. Rock and roll, you have that. Listen to the people yelling rock and roll, just like they're doing all across the country. The fact remains, you got to accept the fact that you can't do it. The Rock and Roll Express will never again be the World Tag Team Champions because we beat you, Rock and Roll. We took your belts. Your best shot wasn't good enough at that hand, Ricky Morton. That hand ain't doing so good. Matter of fact, I hear they're going to have to take that cast off. They're going to have to do a little operation for some nerve damage, and they're going to have to re-break that hand. Well, I tell you what, we'll save you a lot of trouble, Ricky, and save you a doctor bill. We'll break that hand again for you if you stick it in my face, punk, because you're nothing but a couple of stinking goofs, and you're beat, and you're finished, and the Midnight Express are the World Tag Team Champions. The NWA's letting him wear that cast to try to beat my man's brains out with. But I tell you what, from now on, anything that happens in self-defense. If you see this racket go up, it's just to protect myself and my men, because that guy's got a brick on his hand, and I don't like it.
And we got a newcomer from Canada in the ring right now, and here with us at ringside, going to tell us a little bit about this outstanding athlete, J.J. Dillon.
Well, I want to take just a moment to say you look surprised to see James J. Dillon out here as if I'd be hiding and embarrassing because I've been caught with a little bit of egg on my face. But see, the big difference is when it comes to Super Bowl and both teams say they're going to win, one team's got to say wait till next year, and he's got to sit out for 6 months. But the world of professional wrestling is 52 weeks out of the year. And this is not over yet. It may be next week, it may be tomorrow, it may be tonight. But I don't want to steal the spotlight from one Leo Burke, who's in the ring right now. Hey, I've been watching the cards, the wrestling arenas around under Jim Crockett Promotions, and it's like the who's who of professional wrestling. And you'd say to yourself, well, who else could there possibly be? Well, Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, who I have great respect for, shows up this week with Precious, and Leo Burke, who's in the ring right now, probably the greatest athlete that Canada has ever produced. Wrestling family, 5 brothers in the family, all professional wrestlers, and all of great stature, champions all over the world. And Leo Burke is generally regarded as probably the best of the 5 in the wrestling family. Former international heavyweight champion, former North American champion, and the name of Leo Burke is respected throughout Canada in particular, much like Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard are everywhere else in the world. And you're just beginning to see the first part of what Leo Burke has to offer.
Let me ask you this, because I know this is something that's coming to the mind of everybody out there. With Leo Burke now, did J.J. Dillon have anything to do with Leo Burke showing up?
No, not really. I have an exclusive contract with Mr. Tully Blanchard, and I'm honored to that, just as I'm committed to making him the next national heavyweight champion, which I'm just as convinced he will be. But I like to see the intensity of competition as high as it can possibly be. And when you have a Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, when you have a Leo Burke, when you have an Arn Anderson, a Ric Flair, a Tully Blanchard, so forth and so on, you know that you have the stiffest possible competition, and it reflects in the intensity in each and every match that you see each and every night.
We may have a pin coming out of the corner. Oh, only 2.
Leo Burke is a classic wrestler. He's a defensive wrestler. You'll see him make a lot of moves. You don't win matches unless you go out there and take chances, and that's what he's doing tonight, and there's a calculated risk. But as I said, he's a great defensive wrestler, and with all due respect to Mr. Mark Fleming, for every move that he's got, I'm sure that Leo Burke is going to have something waiting. Oh, he took his head off for that knee. I think this match is history, Bob Cuttle.
Yes, sir. When he came off of the ropes, Fleming came charging hard in the knee.
A little added insurance. A great victory for Leo Burke. I offer my congratulations.
You don't get up from 2 blows like that.
And his opponent, Mike Simone. And Thunderfoot with that built-up shoe that has caused a lot of controversy around. Of course, a man that has been tutored by James J. Dillon. And you had James J. Dillon out there when Leo Burke was wrestling.
That's right.
I really believe in one thing that Dillon said. With stars like Leo Burke, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, added to all the stars already that we have around here, the intensity of competition is really strong.
Unbelievable, Johnny, is about the only way you can express it. I tell you, that spray that she's spraying around, I don't know, it looks like it would take Garvin's breath away in the ring.
And when you do get the intensity of competition, you get the lucrative big bucks.
That's right.
We have coming up with Magnum having signed the contract, only needing the key to signature on there.
Talking about big bucks, the $1 million purse for the Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup. And let's mention here, those tickets are going to go on sale Monday morning.
Monday's the big day. They go on sale Monday morning right here. Thunderfoot is having a big night so far with Mike Simone.
This Thunderfoot is a big, strong individual, Johnny, and of course, we've seen him time after time, and it looks like he loads that boot.
And another war that seems to be intensifying against since Paul Jones, #1, has fortified himself with a bunch of new big athletes, is the war with Paul Jones and the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant. And we know that has proved vicious battles in the past. Look at this by Thunderfoot.
Thunderfoot with Simone high to the air. Suplexes him hard to the mat. From behind now with the chin. Fans, remember, a little later in this hour, we're going to be seeing the World Tag Team Champions of Midnight Express.
Here is Simone now. Turn the tables, but Thunderfoot right there to answer.
Well, he went to the eyes, and that's going to stop you right in your tracks every time, as it did Simone.
A lot of exciting things, Bob. You hear these guys talking out there. A lot of heavy words coming down the pike.
Shoulder breaker hard to the knee. He's got him covered. Can he hold him? Yes, sir. There it is, Johnny. A count of 3 after the world champion.
That's right, Bob. You know, I keep looking back at the Rock and Roll Express and all these little teeny boppers in their training undergarments, and I wonder what they think about when they see a woman like Precious. And you got to tell me, brother, those are some bodacious tatas, right, brother? I wonder what all those little teeny boppers think about when they see a real woman in town. Jimmy Garvin, your style of the profiling, brother. And baby doll, when Precious is in the same building, you better wear a gunny sack out there, because you standing next to Precious is like Dusty Rhodes standing next to me. You want to know why? You want to know why? Because I am Slick Rich, the world's heavyweight wrestling champion. Woo! 285 days a year. 335 days a year. It makes no difference. I get up every morning knowing beyond a shadow of a doubt that, in the words of the infamous Double A, I'm all there is. $40,000, that's right. We rounded it off. $40,000 worth of gold, silver, diamonds, and rubies that separates me from all the rest. Now, I got some main people I travel with. I'm talking about Jimmy Cornette and the Express, Double A, Tully Blanchard, James J. Dillon, some of the big names in this great sport. Those are my friends. That makes them number one. You understand? Whether you like it or not, get used to it. We're going to be here a long, long time. Woo!
Over there in the corner with him, the big Italian stallion is across the way. But this man right here, Tully Blanchard, the former world television champion. And Johnny, I know
US
you're aware of it. Yeah, and he held that television champion longer than any other individual.
And in the words of Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, the head of Tully Blanchard Enterprises, James J. Dillon, the future national champion, but we haven't seen that happen yet.
That's right. James J. Dillon even admitted earlier that they had egg on their face because Dusty Rhodes is still the national champion, and their 4 weeks time limit is up. They said they would take that belt in 4 weeks. They did not do it.
And he could possibly wind up with egg on his face again here because the Italian stallion is certainly no slouch.
You can just see the tremendous strength of the stallion. Tremendous upper body power. He looks quite a bit heavier and stronger than Tully, Johnny.
But he doesn't have the quickness. Tully just right there out-executed him on that one. James J. Dillon, outside the head of Tully Blanchard Enterprises, certainly has a proven champion on his hands in Tully Blanchard. All he needs is that national belt. Can he get it?
Well, whatever you think of Tully Blanchard as an individual, he's a tremendous athlete. Rolls out of the ring, down onto the floor quickly. He got to take a little breather and get a few words of advice from J.J. Dillon. Johnny, I tell you, another exciting thing during this hour, as we found out that Magnum TA has a contract signed, and that Jim Crockett Promotions has offered a tremendous contract to Nikita Koloff to meet Magnum right here on television.
That certainly puts the ball in the Russians' camp, and they got to put up now or do something else about it. And right here, Tully Blanchard is having his hands full right here.
Well, we're talking big bucks, and I certainly hope that the big bucks will bring Nikita Koloff around. There goes Blanchard, right over there from the back tag.
Oh, but he misses that elbow. And Tully now starting to take over in this match. There's that slingshot maneuver off the rope.
The favorite move of Tully Blanchard. He slingshots you off of the rope, and you don't get up when he does.
Team combination coming to Greensboro.
Well, you know, Gordon, the thing that makes me really happy is I am returning to the Mid-Atlantic area. I am returning to the East Coast. And to be there with Dusty Rhodes as my partner, him with a bull rope around one of those guys, Arn Anderson, or Tully Blanchard, and me with my strap around the other one. And I can't lie and say that I hope it's Tully Blanchard because, you know, since I've left, I've heard he's been heartbroken since he doesn't have anybody to run around with and doesn't have a friend. So I'm going to come back, Tully Blanchard. You and Arn, Dusty and I are going to do something I should have done before I left. So you get ready.
Ricky Morton's hand and the hearts of 20 million adoring females. Loverboy Dennis and beautiful Bobby, the Midnight Express.
Pistol Pills, Wadley, and Rocky King. But with me right here at ringside, here is the rock and roll Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson.
How you doing, Bob? Well, it's a pleasure to be out here right now. You get a chance to watch the Midnight Express in action. They got a very tough team out there, and Rocky King and Pistol Pills. I wish it was me and brother out there because they got something that belongs to us. I'm talking about the World Tag Team titles.
No doubt about it, and I tell you, Rick, they also been talking about that hand. You know, Cornette did a lot of bragging about the fact that they put that cast on your hand.
That's right, Bob. Rub it in, Jimmy Cornette. Because sooner or later, brother, it's going to come down. It's going to come down with this cast right here, Bob. It's going inside his head. Now I'm sticking part of him, putting this racket, telling everybody what he's going to do. They're not going to do nothing, brother. The Rock and Roll Express is here to stay. That's right, I haven't got a broken hand, I got broken fingers. I don't care if my leg was broke. It's not going to do nothing that's going to stop the Rock and Roll Express from getting those World Tag Team titles back.
See, Bob, right now, yes, he did break his hand, but now he's got to deal with the cast. Jimmy Cornette knows that cast like a ton of bricks, and it's coming his way, Bob.
Fans, you're hearing the Rock and Roll Express, the former champions right here. If I were the Midnight Express, I'd be a little bit uneasy right now because I tell you, just the championship was incentive enough.
That's
But
right,
now you got that hand to repay them for.
That's right, Bob. Brothers, his hand is broken 3 places. And the Midnight Express knows that rock and roll is here to stay. We might be down right now, baby, but we're not out. We ain't gonna be out until we do one thing, Bob. Let's regain the NWA World Tag Team title.
That's Rocky King as Dennis had him high into the air, right down with that backbreaker across the knee. And they're rough, and they're tough. Not only that, but they're mean, Rick.
That's right, Bob. I gotta give credit where credit's due. They are a top tag team. Matter of fact, they're the world's champions. They're at the top of the mountain. But Rock and Roll is gonna knock them off that mountain. And when we do, Jimmy Cornette is going with them.
Hey, that's what I want to see in the fans. You can just sense it. The fans want somebody to really work on Jim Cornette, Robert.
Hey, let me tell you something, Bob. If he gets in our way again, Jimmy Cornette's going to go down by the hands of the Rock and Roll Express. And the main thing, Midnight Express, you got what we want, baby. That's the NWA titles. And sooner or later, Bob, they'll come right back home to the Rock and Roll.
You know, Bob, I said times before, every dog has got his day. And thanks to Dusty Rhodes that gave us Betty Lou. That's been signed. Jimmy Cornette is going in that cage. And Jimmy Cornette, we're going to show your Midnight Express just what they're made out of.
You're talking about Betty Lou, and you're talking about him inside that cage. You're talking about him suspended up in the air, too. He can't do any harm up there.
Let's hope we don't have a nosebleed. See, Bob, because we know 2 only teams in the country and the world today that can beat the Rock and Roll Express heads up. As long as we get that Jimmy Cornette inside Betty Lou, hanging way up in the air, we'll take care of the Midnight Express, Bob.
In the ring right now, Loverboy Dennis, and he's got Rocky King really groggy. He just keeps pounding away at Rocky.
That's right, Bob. You know, we're getting back to tag teams. You know, the Jim Crockett Memorial Cup's coming up in New Orleans. And I heard Ric Flair here talking about how tough him and Arn Anderson are. Well, Ric Flair, we like to start that night off with you and Arn Anderson just to show you how quick your night's going to be over with and finish it up with the Midnight Express because that time we're going to blow the roof off the Superdome.
Oh, it's going to be a fantastic event. You're talking about an unheard of purse, $1 million purse, Robert, in addition to that Memorial Cup.
You ain't kidding, Bob. $1 million. You want the Rock and Roll Express to do the $1 million? We can do a lot of partying, a lot of rock and roll with $1 million. And Jimmy Cornette, sooner or later, baby, rock and roll is going to get him, Bob.
You fellas, when you talk about Jim Cornette and what you're going to do if you ever get a hold of Cornette, you got to also be leery of the fact he's always walking around with that racket. He's got that weapon with him.
I got 5 pounds out here on the end of my arm. That tennis racket's what cost me to wear this right here. And I'm going to tell you what, we're going to sell it our way. That's the way it's going to be sold. Listen to these people out here hollering rock and roll. They know that the Rock and Roll Express can beat the Midnight Express. Look at Bobby Eaton right here.
Bobby up on the top rope.
That's right, coming off. The Midnight Express are tough, Bob, but every dog has got his day.
Devastating blow. He went high in the air over that top rope with that knee, and he's not finished yet. Here is Dennis now.
Oh, man.
Face down to the mat.
That's devastating, Bob. That should be it right there. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's it, Bob.
No way Rocky King was going to be able to get up after he took all of that punishment. First, it was Bobby off of that top rope. Dennis in as he slammed him face down, and Cornette's feeling pretty good about it.
And you can see right there, Jimmy Cornette's real happy. Let's see.